this practice, we're gonna really work on some active glutes and hamstrings and quads things. We're really gonna get into our legs. I am really working on recovering my hamstring and strengthening it again. And so the one I injured, so we're gonna do a lot of that. There's a lot of balancing, so even I might fall, and that's totally fine. And if you fall over, just laugh about it and try again. We're just gonna do the best we can. And you'll probably want a strap. If your hamstrings are feeling a little tight, a strap or a towel or something is good to have on hand. And a couple of blocks would also be good to have on hand, just depending on how tight you're feeling. You might not need any of these, but my hamstrings are a little on the tight side today, so I'm going to have them.
Okay. Just let me get my strap a second.
Let's begin on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet to touch, knees out wide, laying down on our backs. Bringing one hand to your low belly, one hand to your chest. Just taking a moment to center yourself and be present on your mat. And we'll take 3 big breaths together just to start. We're going to do a lot of balancing, and I find that bringing myself into my body and being present is really essential to balancing. So we'll take a big inhale through our nose, all the way from our bellies up and through our chest. Bringing that breath up through the crown of your head, like you're filling up a big balloon, sealing it off at the top. Taking a moment and open your mouth, exhale all the way, empty out all of that air out of that balloon. Sealing your lips to touch, taking a moment in that space. And we'll do that 2 more times. Big inhale through the nose, filling up all the way from the belly, up into the chest, up into the crown of your head, sealing it off at the top. Taking a moment in that space you've created, and open your mouth, let it go. Empty all the way out. Sealing your lips at the bottom. And one more, just like that. Big inhale through your nose, all the way from the bottom of your belly, up through your chest, up into your shoulders and your neck, and through the crown of your head. Sealing it off at the top. And open mouth, exhale. Let it all go. On your next inhale, bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs and close your legs like a book. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a big squeeze in your wind relieving pose. Can rock your hips back and forth, massaging out your low back for an early little massage. And on your next inhale, squeeze your head to your knees all the way and making a tiny little ball. And begin to rock north and south along your spine a few times. Coming up into our tabletop pose on all fours. Hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrist, fingers spread wide. First or middle finger aligned with the long edge of your mat. Pressing down into your hands, shifting the eyes of your elbows forward. Just give yourself a couple of wiggles here. Warm up a little. And on your inhale, lengthen through your spine all the way to the crown of your head, looking down between your hands to flatten out the back of your neck and get rid of any crinkles in the back of your neck, meeting in a flat back. On your exhale, dome your spine, belly button to spine in a cat pose. Tucking the pelvis. Inhale, dropping the belly, shining the chest forward. And your your cow. Exhale, doming the spine, belly button up to the ceiling in your cat pose. Inhale, dropping the belly, shining your chest forward, looking up in your cow pose. One more. Exhale, belly button to spine, rounding the back. Inhale, dropping the belly, shining the chest forward in our cow pose, or cow pose, excuse me. Now we'll exhale, bring our belly button to our spine, going one more time. And on your inhale, drop your hips to the left, or torso to the right. On your way down, as you drop the belly down to the ground, shining the chest forward, fully inhale. Exhale, shifting your torso to the left, passing through to dome your spine to the ceiling, belly button to spine. We'll do that one more time. You can really circle your hips and your head along with this over to the right as you inhale, dropping the belly to the floor, shining your chest forward. Exhale, moving to the left, and belly button to spine, doming towards the ceiling. We'll reverse directions now. Inhale, shifting to the left, belly down to the floor, shining the chest forward. Exhale over to the right, and belly button to ceiling. One more on this side, shifting over to the left on your inhale, dropping the belly to the floor, shining the chest forward. Exhale over to the left, to the right, excuse me, and up to the ceiling. Coming back to a flat back on your next inhale, taking a few wiggles, circling your hips, circling your neck, taking a moment. Inhale, leaning back in a flat back, and reaching our right leg back behind us, straight, and our left arm, out in front of us. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, lift the right foot and the left arm, creating one long line all the way from your heel to your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen, creating that long line, keeping the belly button squeezed into the spine. Exhale, bring the left elbow to meet the right knee, crunching underneath you, belly button to spine, doming a little like your cat pose. Inhale, lengthen through the leg and the arm, all the way straight line from your right heel to your left fingertips. Exhale, bringing the knee to elbow, crunching in. Inhale, extend, last one. Exhale to contract, knee to elbow. Bringing both your hand and your knee back to the floor in your tabletop pose. Giving yourself a couple of wiggles, maybe shaking out that right hand. Giving yourself a minute here between sides. And the other side now, taking your left leg long out behind you, right arm out in front of you. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, lifting that left foot and the right arm, long line from the heel of your left foot all the way to your right fingertips. Give those fingertips a wiggle. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, contract, knee to elbow. Inhale to lengthen, remembering your core, especially if you feel like you're wobbling a little. Exhale to contract, knee to elbow. One more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to contract. Inhale, coming back to your tabletop, flat back. Giving yourself a minute to wiggle that out, circling your hips and your neck. One long exhale through your mouth. Release all of that tension we created. And tucking your toes on your next Tucking your toes to inhale, and on your next exhale, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling into your down dog. We won't do a lot of down dogs today, so let's take a moment to check in on our alignment. Pedal out your feet if that feels good, giving your calves and your hamstrings a little stretch. And bringing a little bit of a bend to your knees. Really lengthen from the crown of your head and your fingertips all the way to your tailbone, pressing that tailbone up towards the ceiling, creating one long line. Opening your fingers, spreading them like sunshine, and grounding your weight into your first finger and your thumb, rotating the eyes of your elbows forward, bringing your shoulders away from your ears, and releasing your neck so you're creating a full straight line. Give that head a little shake to release your neck. And if that feels good, you can straighten through the legs, bringing those heels closer to the floor. But it's totally fine to keep them bent. So wherever you're feeling good in your hamstrings today. Inhale. Exhale, open your mouth. Let it go. And on your next inhale, begin to take tiny steps, tippy-toeing forward, shifting your weight into your hands, all the way to the top of your mat, meeting in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Bringing your knees to bend slightly, but keeping your hips stacked over your heels, keeping that weight forward. Bringing your torso to rest on your thighs. Bending through your legs a little if you need to do that. And then inhale, straighten your legs while keeping that contact between your torso and your thighs as much as possible. Exhale to fold. Inhale, start to roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing, rolling your shoulders up by your ears and back down on your back, palms shining forward in our Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking a moment to really ground into our feet here. We're going to do a lot of balancing. So let's start with a strong foundation. Grounding through all four corners of your feet, spreading your toes wide, bringing your toes to touch and just a sliver of space between your heels. Letting that energy grounding through all four corners of your feet carry up into your legs, lifting the kneecaps, firing up the quads, squeezing your glutes, bringing everything into the center. Pull your belly button to the spine. And let that energy travel up through the crown of your head. If there's someone has hooked a string to the inside of your belly button and is pulling it up all the way through the crown of your head, keeping your ribs knitted in, belly button to spine, reaching tall. Inhale, circle sweep to bring the arms overhead, palms facing each other. Keeping your shoulders down away from your ears, ribs knitted in. And bringing your hands down to heart center, exhale. We'll now do a little variation of a sun salutation C with some fun add-ons. And we'll move straight into that. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. Exhale to fold forward from your hips. Folding forward with a flat back as far as you can, keeping a slight bend into your knees. Releasing, letting it go. Inhale to halfway lift. Hands can come to shins or blocks in front of you or the floor. Creating that flat back, keeping your weight a little forward, hips stacked over your heels. Exhale to step your right foot back into a lunge, knee comes to the floor, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead, palms facing each other. Anjaneyasana, or low crescent lunge. checking our alignment for a second, magnetizing your inner thighs together, squeezing your belly button into your core, tucking your pelvis slightly under, reaching tall to the crown of your head, bringing those shoulders away from the ears, and turning those hands in to face each other. Inhale. Exhale, bringing your hands to frame your left foot and stepping that left foot back to meet the right in your high plank pose. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists, spreading those fingers wide, pressing the ground away from you into your thumb and your first finger, stacking your heels over your toes as if you're trying to stamp your heels onto the wall behind you, and pulling that core up into the chest, firing up your legs. Exhale, we're gonna slowly lower, as slow as you can, all the way to the floor, keeping your elbows glued into your sides, all the way to the floor. Inhale, untucking the toes, rolling the chest up, squeezing your shoulder blades together, grounding your feet through the pinky edge side of your toes, squeezing your glutes to protect your low back. In a baby cobra. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, coming up through your high plank or using your knees, pressing up and hips back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet for a moment. Inhale, bringing the right leg up to the sky, toes facing down, squeezing your glute to raise your leg 1 inch higher, and exhale, threading it through your hands, stepping it forward, lowering your left knee, untucking the toes into your low lunge. Inhale your hands up high overhead, Anjaneyasana, squeezing that belly button away from the thigh. Exhale, bringing the hands to frame the right foot and tucking the left toe, stepping that left foot up to meet the right into a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, coming up, circle sweeping the arms up to stand. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. We'll do that all again on the other side now. Inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, this time stepping the left foot back into your low lunge. Knee comes to the ground, untucking the toes. Inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead, palms facing each other. Anjaneyasana. Magnetizing those legs together for just a moment. Exhale, bringing the hands down to frame the right foot. Tucking the toes. Bringing the right foot back to meet the left in your high plank. Pressing the ground away. Exhale, slowly lower. Keeping those elbows tucked in, squeezing your core, slow as you can, all the way to the floor. If you need to bring your knees down, that's totally fine. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting the chest, peeling it off the floor, bringing your shoulder blades to kiss behind you. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, tucking the toes up through your plank or to your knees and pressing the hips back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, taking a breath here. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale, bring the left foot up to the sky, toes facing down, squeezing the glute. Exhale, threading that left foot up through your hands, placing it in front of you, bringing the right knee down, untucking the toes in your low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your arms down, hands down to frame the left foot, tucking the right toes, stepping forward to meet the left in a forward fold. Inhale here. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, circle sweeping the arms up to stand. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. We'll do this again, adding on a little bit to this sun salutation. Starting right away, inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping the right foot back, knee to the floor, untucking the toes. Inhale, arms sweeping up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Belly button away to spine, magnetizing the inner thighs together. Paying attention, this is where we'll change things up a bit. Exhale, bringing the hands to frame the left foot, tucking the right toes under, and exhale, pressing all the way up into your standing split, coming onto your left leg, reaching the right leg up to the ceiling, toes facing down, inner thigh pressing up to the ceiling, keeping the hips as square as possible, maybe stepping your hands closer to your foot, if that feels good, but keeping this alignment, squeezing through your glutes, raising your upper thigh to the ceiling, toes facing down. Inhale, lift 1 inch higher. Exhale, this is our challenge. If you fall, it's totally fine. Sweeping that right leg down and coming up to a one-leg Tadasana, bringing that right foot up in front of you, making a lowercase h with your body, grounding through your left foot to stay stable. Flex your right toes hard back towards your face to protect your knee, squeezing those glutes, squeezing that belly button in. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. One-legged Tadasana. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale, grabbing your big toe of your right foot with your peace fingers, or grabbing your strap if you're feeling a little tight. I'm going to use my strap today. Grabbing your big toe. Exhale, pressing that foot away as if you're stomping it on to the wall in front of you, pressing through your heel. Keeping your body long through your torso, reaching through the crown of your head like we do in our standard Tadasana. Holding for just a moment. Inhale. Exhale. Really grounding through that standing leg. Inhale to stay. Exhale, releasing that foot, but keeping the leg extended out in front of us. Straight, still stamping that foot on the wall in front of us. Inhale, lift it 1 inch higher. Exhale, slow as you can, sweeping it down and back behind us. Coming into our warrior 3, bowing the chest forward. Just really stomping that foot now onto the wall behind us. Keeping a slight bend in your standing leg to balance. Keeping your hips even as if you're balancing a block on your sacrum. Really give yourself a little up dog, externally rotate through your shoulders. Inhale to stay. Extending that foot out behind you. Exhale, tapping the toes down as slow as you can into your high crescent lunge. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, windmilling your arms open, bringing that back foot so it's parallel with the short edge of your mat. Opening up into a warrior 2. Arms extended out from your shoulders. Nice and strong here. Pressing through your pinky toe edge of your back foot. Peeking down at your front toe, big toe, making sure you can still see it. Reaching tall through the crown of your head. Extending, shooting energy out of both your hands, pulling those shoulders into the socket. Inhale to extend. Exhale to lower. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower a little more. Inhale, bringing both feet parallel to each other to the short edge of your mat, turning fully to the side, reaching your arms out in both directions, reaching to the 4 corners of the room. Exhale, folding forward, hinging forward from your hips, keeping your back flat for as long as possible, keeping a slight bend as you hinge forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Hands to the floor or to blocks in front of you. And exhale, fold. Inhale, coming to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming to a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, rolling all the way up, back to that big star pose we did before, stretching in all 4 directions. Exhale, turning to face the back edge of your mat now. Your right toes facing that short edge. Your left foot back at a 45-degree angle. Stepping your feet a little bit apart so you're on train tracks and not a tightrope. Squaring your hips to the back of your mat. Inhale to lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale to hinge forward over your right leg. Hands can come to the floor or your shin or to blocks in front of you. Whatever feels good today. Try not to hyperextend through those knees, but bring a little bit of a bend as you fold forward. Again, inhaling to halfway lift. Lengthen, exhale to fold. One more time, inhale to lengthen, halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale to stay. Exhale, bringing your hands to frame your right foot and stepping that left foot back, knee to the floor, untucking the toes into your low lunge again. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Belly button to spine, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bringing your hands to frame your right foot, tucking the left toes and stepping that left foot forward to meet the right in your forward fold. Inhale, circle sweeping the arms overhead, coming into our Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that all again now on our other side. Moving a little faster, breath to movement. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time stepping the left foot back, knee to the floor, untucking the toes. Inhale, arms sweeping up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come to frame your right foot, tucking your left toes, and pressing into your right leg all the way up into your standing splits. Left leg high behind you, keeping it squared to the floor. Pressing that inner thigh up to the ceiling, toes facing down, maybe stepping your hands in slightly. Squeezing your glute to reach 1 inch higher. And exhale, coming down, sweeping that leg down and up in front of you into your one-legged Tadasana. Grounding into your right foot to balance, flexing those toes hard towards your face, arms sweeping up overhead. Activating your core. Inhale, bringing your right or your left peace fingers to your left big toe. Exhale, stretching that leg out in front of you. Pulling that shoulder into the socket. Stomping that left heel onto the wall in front of you. Keeping yourself long through your torso. Reaching up through the crown of your head. Exhale, releasing the foot. Keeping the leg straight out in front of you. Inhale, reaching it 1 inch higher. Exhale, sweeping it down and back slow as you can. Nice and controlled. Back behind you as you dive forward into your warrior 3. Lengthening through that left foot. Again, reaching that inner thigh to the ceiling, keeping your toes facing down, hips even as if you're balancing a block on them. Little bit of an up dog in your chest. Exhale, bringing the toes to touch behind you, coming into your high crescent lunge. Inhale, windmilling your arms open into your warrior 2. Back leg parallel with the back edge of your mat. Pressing through those pinky toes of your back foot. Peeking down, making sure you can still see your big toe in the front. Inhale to reach in all directions, high through the crown of your head. Exhale to sink deeper. Inhale, coming into a star pose, feet parallel, arms up to either side, stretching to all four corners of the room. Exhale, hinging forward into your wide-legged forward fold. Again, inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way up, back into that big star pose. Limbs stretching to the four corners of the room. And turning to face the front of our mat again. Left feet pointing towards the front of the mat. Right foot at a 45-degree angle. Stepping one or the other out a little to give you a little space for your hips. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, folding over your left leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forehead to knee, folding a little deeper. Inhale, framing the left foot with your hands, stepping that right foot back, knee to the floor, untucking the toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, bringing the hands to frame the left foot, tucking the right toes, stepping that right foot up to meet the left in your forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, circle sweeping the arms to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, we'll bring our arms up overhead and slowly lower through a chair pose all the way to the floor. Slow as you can, nice and controlled. Coming onto our backs, squeezing our legs into our chest, just like we did at the beginning of class. Rocking back and forth, side to side, massaging out your low back. Option to take a happy baby here, reaching your knees into your armpits and your hands to the outside edge of your feet, continuing to rock back and forth, straightening through one leg, and then the other if that feels good. Lengthening here from the crown of your head all the way through your tailbone. Inhale, bringing your knees up into your chest again, giving yourself a big squeeze, forehead to knees, giving yourself a nice big hug, saying thank you for this practice. Exhale, letting it all go. Legs reaching down in front of you, arms coming out to the side into your final resting pose. Shavasana. We'll take one big breath here together, inhaling through the nose, filling up all the way from the belly, through the chest, up through the crown of the head. Sealing it off in that stillness just for a moment. Exhale, let it all go. And feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you would like today. I will leave you here. Share a moment of gratitude with yourself for meeting yourself on your mat today for this practice. And thank you for joining. Cool. That's it.